Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today in this video we'll be learning how we can create animation in CSS. So before starting the video, I have split this video in two parts. First would be in transition and transform, and the second video would be about the animation in CSS. The topic would be keyframes and all. So let's see the today's video topic. So first we will be learning about the transitions. So in transition we have a properties of like transition property, duration, time functions, and there is a misunderstanding between the duration and delay. So we will also sort it out, and also we will see how we can implement 4 or 5 properties at once. So we also have a transition property for that. So we will be learning about that also. After it we have a transform. So in transform we will be doing a 2D and 3D animations. So in if I compare 2D with 3D, then there would be like 2 or 3 attribute difference, but there is nothing. You can also learn the 2D, and after applying 2 and 3 properties, it would be become the 3D as well. So in it we have a translate, scale, rotate, skew, and origin. So without any further ado, let's begin. So I have created a folder which is animation in CSS, which you can see on the left side of mine, and inside that animation in CSS folder I have made 3 files. The first is index.html, second pari.jpg, and third is style.css. So pari तो हमारे ट्रेंड में है, इसको मैं रिफ्रेश कर देता हूँ अभी के लिए. ओके, तो अब ये नहीं होगा. Okay, so first we have a html.index file, index.html file, and the second we have a style.css. So we will be animating this image only, so with the use of transitions. So first we'll be learning about transitions. So the first property is the transition property, and if you're writing down any of the property, then you don't need to. I have uploaded the PDF of all the, like, you can also see the notes of this video in the description, so you can check it out. So you don't need to pause the video and write any code manually. I have just made a PDF of it, and you can check it, the link in the description. So transition property, we will be learning about the first transition property. So transition property, the spelling is wrong, transition property, and right now I'm just making it blank, and let us move on. The second, the transition duration. So right now I'm just making it blank so that we can make it more accurate for later purposes. So first on hover, let's say I want to increase the width of it, let's say a 600 pixel. Okay, and now we will come to our transition property. So I have just made an image. You can see I have, let me just make it. Yeah, I have just an image. Okay, and in this image I have applied some CSS with width of 300 pixels initially, and on hover it should width of 600 pixels. So right now I have saved all the file and just refresh it, and now if I hover over it, you can see this is not a good thing, because it is not animating. Just hovering it is just making it width of 600 pixels, but I want the animation. So how we can do that? So for that we have a transition properties. So in transition property, you can write width. So it means we want the width property to be transition, to be animating. Okay, and after that you can write the duration. So duration, it means how much time it will take to animate. So I just type 2 seconds. So it will take 2 seconds from the starting to end to complete whole animation in 2 seconds. So if again I have not refreshed it, so just refreshing it and just see the hover. When I will hover it, it will be of 600 pixel. So as soon as I hover it, you can see this is a 600 pixel, and this is this very smooth animation of 2 seconds. And if I click, if I decrease it to the 1 and just save this file, and then I refresh this again, and now it will be a much faster animation, because I have just made it 1 second. So what I'm doing here, I am just giving it a duration. So I want to complete this animation within 1 second. So it is completing it within 1 second. Also I can give a 0.5 seconds. Oh, I just made mistake here. 0.5 seconds. Yeah. Save this file and then refresh. Now it will complete more faster. So see. So now it is completing in 0.5 second. Also I can say the half second. It will take half second to complete the whole animation. So that's how the property transition property and transition duration works. So now, as I said, there is a we can say the misunderstanding between the duration and delay. So now we will sort it out. Again, I will just remain the duration. Let's just make it again the 2. Okay, 2 seconds, and also I'm making it 2 seconds. So now right now I'm just commenting out. So right now I have just transition duration and refreshing it. So now it will take 2 seconds to load. But now what I'm doing, I'm just commenting the duration and uncommenting the delay. So now the delay will apply. So now I just refresh it and then see. You can see again I'm refreshing it. Just see this. After 2 seconds it will give the transition, and if I remove this after 2 seconds it will get back. So transition duration, transition delay means duration, it means the animation time. You can relate to that, the time taken by the animation, and transition delay is time taken before and after the animation. मतलब ये 2 सेकेंड बाद एनिमेशन शुरू करेगा. इन शॉर्ट अगर मैं कहूँ डिले मीन्स इट मीन डिले, इट विल डिले टू द 2 seconds. So it is about that. So if I made transition delay and duration at the same time, also we don't have any problem. We can apply both here because delay is separate property and duration is separate property. So we can apply it at once also. So if I go here and just hover over it, so after 2 seconds it will it will animate. So that's how the transition property, transition duration, transition delay works. So now we'll be learning about how transition timing function works. Okay, so now we'll be learning about the transition timing function. So for that now let us remove this delay because we don't want it. So I'm not removing, I'm just right now I'm just commenting out, or I think I should remove it so we can write a cleaner code. Okay, so instead of width I will be giving some translate. So I will be typing a transform translate of, let's say, x and 300 pixels. Okay, so right now you don't need to worry about it. हम इसको अभी आगे पढ़ेंगे, तो अभी के लिए you can just ignore it. Just simply see that this timing function. So now we have the 4 or 5 functions, 4 or 5 attributes of that: ease in, ease out, ease in out, and linear. So we'll be learning about that. So first we'll be learning about ease. So what ease does, in the starting it will go slow, in the middle it will go faster, and at the end it will go slow. So it will start slow, middle fast, and slow. If I just refresh this, let me just make it a full window so that we can see this. So as soon as I hover over it, okay, so there is some, I think, error in our code. Okay, so we have written the width, so I need to just change it from the transform. So now it will, transform spell is wrong. Yeah, now. Okay, if I just go to here on my this, refresh this, and then as soon as I hover over it, it is starting slow, in the middle faster, and it ends with the slow. Right now it is not observable because okay, let's just make it a more length. I'm making it to the 900 pixels so we can see it more fast. So if I refresh this and just hover over it, so you can see in the starting it's starting slow, in the middle it is faster, and it ends with the slow. If I hover over it again, then you can see in the starting it is slow, in the middle it is fast, and in the end it ends with the slow. So that's how ease work. So again we have a ease in also. So ease in, save this, and again if I refresh this, now it will start with the slow and till the end it will be fast. So if I hover over it again, it will start slow and all the way it will be a fast. It will start slow and it will start slow all the way it would be fast. You can see, you can compare it from the previous one. It is starting with the smooth animation and at the end it will just go with the fast. So that's how ease in work. So now again we have ease out as well. So I will be typing ease out. So ease in, so I have just remembered it, sorry. For like ease in, it means ease easy in the starting and ease out, ease in the at the end. मतलब धीरे चलो, starting में ease in मतलब in the starting just go slow and ease out, uh, go slow at for the end. So that's how I learned it. So if it is relatable, then you can do it as well. It's up to your choice. So right now I've just applied ease out. Yes, ease out. So if I hover over it, it will start faster now and it will end slow. Is in ease in, it was starting slow and end fast. In ease out, it is starting fast, ending slow. So it is the opposite of ease in. You can see in the starting it is see, it is starting fast but ending slow. Starting fast, ending slow. So that's how ease out works. So again now we have ease in out. So if I type ease in out, save this. So it is similar to ease because we are applying all the both ease in and out, and in ease we have both with the same combination. So it is starting, it will start slow, in the middle it will fast, and it will end with the slow. So if I hover over it again, so it is in the starting it is slow, middle fast, and ends with slow. Okay, but what if I want to make it linear? Linear, I just called the attribute. So let's just see it. So if I type a linear, save this, and again I'm just refreshing this again. Now linear, so it will go all the way at the linear speed. So it will nothing start with the slow, nothing faster. It will go from A point to B point at the same speed. So if I just hover over it, just remove my mouse, all the way it will go with the linear, you can say the speed. So that's how linear property works. So now we have the basic properties of transition, which we can use to animate our website. So what if instead of writing all these three properties at once, so how can I write that? Yes, we can. So let's just commenting it out, and now I have a single property. It is called the transition. आज मुझसे गलती बहुत हो रही है spelling में. Okay, transition. Okay, so in transition I will be writing a transform, and let's give it a 0.5 seconds. Say a ease of 0.5 seconds. Again, ease of 0.5 seconds. So what it will be, it will apply the transform with the ease function, and it will take the timing of let's say 2 seconds. So it will be observable. So if I refresh it, so now you can see all the properties is applying at the same time. So that's how the ease works. So that's how the transition property works. If you want to apply all these properties at once, so you can also apply this single transition. So it is work like that. So this was all the properties about the transition. So now we'll be learning about the transform, which includes a 2D and 3D animation. So let's move on to that. So now we'll be learning about the 2D and 3D animation using transform. So in the transform we'll be learning transform, scale, rotate, skew, and origin. Okay, so let's go to the code editor. So now just remove this whole comment. Enter. Just we want just transmission, and just remove this ease as well, and won't make it 1 second. Okay, so now we have this transition with transform of 1 second animation, like duration. And right now I have just written transform translate x 900 pixels. So first we'll be learning about the translate itself. So for doing translate, it means it will move from the x-axis of 900 pixels. So I just make it reload and just reload, and as soon as I hover over it, so it will take 1 second to translate in x-axis. Okay, see, it is taking x-axis. Let's just make it on the center so that we can like say it faster. I will make it at the center, so making it margin auto just refresh it. Okay, from the margin auto it is not coming, I don't know why. Okay, so I'm just making it यहाँ से text align center and just refresh this. Now it is at center. Perfect. So now it is going 900 pixel from the right side. It is from x-axis. So if I tell you what is x-axis and what is y-axis in here, so in this direction, this and this, it is x-axis, and this direction and this direction, it is y-axis. You must have like studied the math, so you know about what is axis, but it is to more clarify what it is. So I just said move in translate in x-axis with 900 pixels. 900 pixels. It is little difficult to write it with the mouse like trackpad so bear me for the writing. 900 pixels. So I just said translate it towards 900 pixels in x-axis. So it just moved towards x-axis with the 900 pixel of length. If I told him to just go minus x-axis, so it means minus x-axis. So it will go towards the minus x-axis with this 900 pixels. Okay. So if I go here and then refresh this, now if I again hover it, so it will move on the left side because it is going now. So now it is going left side. So that's how the translate property works. Now if I just make it y-axis and save this, so now it will go upwards. Okay. And if I made it to the positive y-axis, so now it will go downwards. So this is how the translate property works. Also, if you want to make it both x and y axis, so just simply write translate and refresh. So now what it will go here. I think I just made it a bit mistake here. So this is for minus, this is for plus. In the actual like on the graph, upper case is positive and the lower case is negative, but in the rule of translate y-axis, the upper is negative and the lower is positive. Okay, so that's how the translate property works. It is upper from the negative and the lower from the positive. So now I applied translate property. It means both are positive, x and y both are positive from the 900 pixels. So if I go here, and so it will come up with the positive, this is positive, this is positive, so it will come up like let's say here. Okay, so let's say here it will come here. So now instead of making image here or here, it should be somewhat here or from the upper. Okay, so now I'm just refreshing it, and as soon as I hover over it, I think I am just making some mistake here. Okay, so the value should be let's say I'm just making it here 600 pixel and also making it here 600 pixels. So save this and just refresh it again, and as soon as I hover over it, so you can see it is moving towards this side. So that's how translate property works. So we have a translate property, so I'm just commenting out. Now we have the transform and scale property. Scale, right now I'm just making it x-axis, let's say x, and making it let's say 2 only. Save this and then refresh. So now from the x scale it will become 2 times. Okay, so as you can see from the scale it has become 2 times. So I have written 2, it means 2 times, it means 2 गुना. अगर initially अगर हमारी let's say image की length है 200 pixels, अगर हम scale x करते हैं तो जो उसकी length होगी वो उसकी 2 times हो जाएगी. If I apply here a -2, it is also has a -2. If I apply here and then refresh this again, so now it is this. Okay, so that's how this property works. So now let's say I want to increase the y also. So save this and refresh. So now from the y-axis means its height would be increased. So now its height is increasing. See, okay. And also I can apply both the properties, such as only writing the scale. So now its length and height would be changed accordingly. I think yeah. Now the height and length is changing accordingly. So that's how the scale property works. So now we know scale as well. So now we'll be learning about rotate transform. So now rotate, yeah, here rotate, and let's say I want to rotate it from the 20 degrees. So that's how you can write in degrees. So if you write 20 degrees, then it would be a clockwise. So if I just see this, so now see, it is clockwise. I think 20 is not looking that good. Let's make it 90 degree. 90 degree, you know 90 degree what it will be in the result. So if I just now, okay, so it is a clockwise. So if you make it anti-clockwise, so also if you want to make it anything opposite, then you need to just simply apply negative. It means minus. So I just refresh it again. So now it will be anti-clockwise. So that's how the rotate property works. So if I again go to here and not here, yes, here. So that's how the rotate property works. And now we have skew property. So if I type transform, and I will be writing skew. In writing skew, and I will be writing x and with 30 degrees. Save this and then refresh this again. So now it will skew it from 30 degrees with x-axis. So if I hover over it, so you can see this is the skew. This is how skew works from the x. This is the skew x. So now if I again go to this, and if I see y, save this, and now again refresh this. So now it will skew to the y-axis. Okay, so now we know how we can skew in x and y-axis. So if I want the both sides, then I will simply apply skew 30 degrees and then refresh this again. So now it will skew from the, okay, so just make it, let's say 30 degrees as well. So now just, so right now it is skewing from the from x-axis and y-axis as well, both the axes. So now we know about the 2D transitions. So how we can make 2D animation. So it was all about the translate, scale, rotate and skew. It was all about the how we can make transition or animation in 2D methods. So now we'll be learning about 3D attributes, how we can implement it in our code. Okay, to do 3D transformation, so we need to write the perspective. So perspective, first I will write the perspective. Let's say 1000 pixels. Save this. So what this perspective means? It means I'm defining that screen, that the distance between the screen and my eyes is about the 100 pixels. So I'm defining the perspective that this screen is 100 pixel away from my eye. So I'm defining the perspective here. So now I will be writing the 3D code. 3D code is just same as we are writing in 2D, but the difference is we are writing here is perspective. We are defining the perspective in that this image has a certain distance from my eye. So now I will be just writing the same code. The same code I wrote just for the 2D, then I will write for the 3D as well. I'm just writing, let's say rotate x, and let's just say 60 degrees. Save this, and I go to here and then refresh. So now you will see, let's say let's just make it a little bit more. Okay, now just instead of making it here, Control save, body say, and then refresh. So now you can see in the code I just write rotate x. So let's just remove this perspective. Now we will see. So I just removed the perspective. Now you can see I just removed this perspective for 3D, and now I just refreshed it. Now right now I just have this transition and then this transform rotate x. So it would be a simple 2D property. So if I refresh this, so now it is just squeezing from the x-axis. It is rotating, but it is not expected to flip. and now I just remove this, uncommenting this perspective. Now I have defined that this image is like this screen has a certain distance from my eye. So now it will change its property from 2D to 3D, because now, right now we have defined the distance. So now if I hover over it, so now it is flipping. Okay, so that's how 3D properties work. You need to give the perspective in the body. Now you can use anything you want. Let's just, so now I'm just removing it, and let's just translate it. Okay, so let's just give another example of translate, and let's say I want to try translate it from the z-axis of 500 pixels. Okay, so now just refresh it. So now you can see, so it is the same as we are scaling, right? If I go to here and just making it smaller, let's just minimize it. So now it is behaving like a scale, but what it is doing, it is making let's say we have 1,000 centimeter distance. So in scale the image was increasing its width and height, but what it is doing, what translate z-axis with the defining of perspective is doing, it is making our image more closer towards the z-axis. So it is y-axis, it is z-axis, and this is sorry, this is y-axis, sorry this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. So I am defining what I have made. I just said translate it. So it is right now the image is here. So let's say right now the image is here. So now translate z. So now I am doing translate z. It means move it towards 500 from the z-axis. So it is moving 500 from the z-axis. So it is going outside from the screen. It is behaving like a scale, but it is not exactly the scaling. It is moving from the screen towards us. So that's how the translate z works. So right now initially the image was at the 0 pixel from the screen, but as soon as I give it translate z-axis from 500 pixels, so it is going towards us, it is coming towards us from the 500 pixel. So if I again go to here, so now you can see it is coming towards me. So this is difference between the translate z-axis in 3D and scale in 2D. Okay, so now we know about the transition properties, how transition works, how 2D elements work, how we can define the 3D elements as well. It is just simple property. You just need to apply the perspective and it will behave like a 3D methods, so, or 3D attributes. So we have learned so far from the transition, transform, 2D and 3D applications as well. So that's all for this video, and the second video's link would be in the description, so you can check this out as well. So that's it for this video. So I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care.